Hello and welcome back to the Chasing Poker Greatness YouTube channel. Today's video is another 500 NL play and explain that goes much smoother than the last one I uploaded where I get stacked with aces and back-to-back hands at the same table. If you missed that one, make sure to go back and check it out. Without any further ado, here's today's play and explain.
Oh, let's play the first hand of the session. Average flop. Pretty nice to have a diamond. Gonna start out with a small C bet. Interesting turn. I think I can still value bet my hand and probably just do a lot of checking back on the river. I think there's still pair plus draw. I mean, even just naked draws, combo draws that you can get called by. Probably going to be one of the thinner hands that I value bet. Don't think I would bet a 10 because some sort of 10x is a big part of the range that I'm targeting, but no matter. Gonna ISO the post with pocket fours. I think it's actually pretty nice to fold out the big blind and okay, well, it's not going to work, but I was going to say it's pretty nice to fold out the big blind's equity in this spot, even if we don't fold out the poster. And obviously it's really nice when they both fold. Bottom set, still just going to start out with check here. I think I'm going to check my entire range. One of the things that we've seen from our mass data analysis at CPG Wolves is that these low flops get stabbed at a very, very high frequency. So I expect to get a check raise in here. A lot. Really nice to see him stab the big size. The big size, another thing that we can see in the data is less folded facing check raise. It's more likely to be a hand that wants to continue. So yeah, I'm gonna size up here with my check raise. Very dynamic board, easy to find my natural bluffs here. Diamond, diamond hands, 8-9, 10-8, some sort of 5x. So yeah. No dice, no dice. So we got a short stack fish opening here on the button. Definitely going to defend queen 10. Really good flop. Fish comes out with a pretty big bet. I'm going to do something kind of funky here. I think the standard thing to do here would be to jam. But another cool thing that we can see from the data is that it's actually really, really important to bet the river versus fish when you are bluffing. So I'm going to start out with a really small check raise here. It's a literal min raise. Bet the turn really small and plan on jamming the river. It's not going to be a huge jam on the river just because we start out super short. But the river is where you have the most fold equity versus fish. And so I do a lot of really strange sizing stuff to make sure that when I am jamming the river versus these short stacks. So really small on the turn here and then leave a little bit of meat. All right, we don't even have to worry about it, but yeah, it's probably one of the stranger things that you'll ever see me do. All right, open A7 off on the button, flop top pair top kicker versus a fish in the big blind. Pretty sweet spot. Just going to start out with a large C bet. Obviously not my favorite turn, but still going to continue value betting this hand. Think there's a lot of pair plus draw, a lot of just stuff that we can target. Sizing down a little bit just to make sure that I'm getting called by worse hands. River seems close on an overcard. Gonna check. Oh, nice. Just gonna say, I was gonna put more money in the pot with this ace king offsuit, but I guess now you'll just have a chance to put it all in. Assuming, well, I don't think there's a situation where I fold this hand even if C2 decides to put it all in himself, so. Hey, he's thinking about it. I was thinking about something. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to do here other than ooh, river. And queen offsuit gonna be a 100% 3-bet facing cutoff open. And I will fold if he 4-bets. Really nice flop. Flop texture is this dry. I am just going to be starting out with a small c-bet with my whole range. Easy turn c-bet. Going to continue to value bet here. With top pair second kicker. Really nice that I don't have to be worried about top pair top kicker because ace king just 4-bets pure pre-flop. So I think we can just go for some straight value here on the turn and probably jam a whole bunch of rivers. Let's go deep in the tank. Think about jamming. Nope. Easy open here. Blind versus blind. Pocket sixes. Go to a flop. Pretty simple strategy. Just going to be checking my entire range on 9-9 deuce. Do a lot of checking out of position in these blind versus blind scenarios. I think once it goes check check on the flop, I can just start value betting turn and maybe even the river depending on how this board runs out, but pretty easy spot to value bet the turn, I think. Ooh, get the best river. Close decision here between just betting really big myself and checking. I'm actually just going to check. I think a lot of the hands that I'm targeting with a bet themselves anyways, plus there's a lot of brick stuff that we can target, diamond type hands, maybe even like ace 3 ace 4. Don't think those hands need to bluff this river on a paired board, but nice, we get a pretty big value bet. And I think like another thing that I like to think about when I have hands this strong is just like I have a hand that wants to play for all the money or like as much money as possible. And the way to play for more than one bet, I think, is just to check the river and let them bet and get a check raise in. Maybe a little bit too greedy with size, but would really want to stack hands like 3-4, 7-8. Don't think those hands bet 3-bet if I check raise to a different size. So really just targeting top of range with this very, very large river check jam. Oh, nobody folds after they tank down this long, right? Come on, man. You can do it. You can do it. Gonna be curious to see what he folded there in the session review. We get a 3x open from the fish and the cutoff. Kind of a question as to size here. So you just go kind of normal. And gonna check this flop and hopefully let him jam some hands that wouldn't call a jam. Pretty easy bluff catcher. Nice. That's a pretty good example of a hand that I don't think would call a jam on the flop. Yeah, anyways, whatever. Good result. Not much to talk about. Ace king suited in the big blind. Gonna 3-bet or 4-bet maybe? 3-bet. And facing 4-bet. Nothing to do here, but put it in at 100 bigs. Good luck us. Snapped. Oh. Oh, he has clubs. Not anymore. I'm gonna defend the big blind here in our little 3-handed game. Really good flop for my end. See what size he comes out with and decide whether we want to check call or check raise. Can't see myself folding. Really small. Yeah, just gonna have more check raises versus this size than I would versus the larger sizes. This hand is definitely gonna make it in there. Definitely not hurting for any value check raises on this board. We're gonna have everything from 2-pair sets, every 2-pair in every set other than aces, and just gonna barrel a turn. Hopefully we get a red card on the river or a fold on the turn and get the fold on the turn.
If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. It helps us out a lot and lets us know what type of content you want to see in the future. Thanks for watching today's Play and Explain.
This is Chasing Poker Greatness. Coach Brad approved. Are you a lone wolf searching for the ultimate pack? The CPG Wolf program is a close-knit brotherhood hell-bent on one thing only: chasing poker greatness. Powered by bleeding-edge wolf strats and led by Coach Brad and his lieutenants, CPG Wolves are systematically prepared for almost any spot they'll encounter on the green felt. If you want to plug into an elite team and have a step-by-step game plan to realize your full poker potential, you can apply at cpgwolves.com. Space is limited, and the pack is only as strong as its weakest member. So only the hungriest, grittiest, and most driven will be accepted into the program. Applications are open at cpgwolves.com.